Yes. Yeah. Hello, Joe's Pub. Ooh, how are we? Good, good, good. Say hello to the live stream and all the pretty people at home in their pajamas. Yeah, yes, bring it up. How's everyone doing tonight? Yeah. So we're epic players, and you're here for our epic underground event. Yes, Storytellers. So for some of you, you're returning. For a lot of you, it's your first time. Anybody's first time here? Yes, good. Well, I hope you sit back, enjoy this journey with us. I want to ask the house, anybody here from Queens? Oh, wow, there are people here from Queens. A lot of the times, people don't admit it. Because what happens is when people find out you're from Queens, people start apologizing to you. Like, I'm so sorry. I know it's hard, right? Well, I am from Queens, and ooh, this is the only cheers that I've ever gotten for that. So thank you so much. Keep that coming. Yes. So I'm from Queens, and my parents are immigrants, right? So they came to Queens and started a life here. And I realized that my parents were born for a very specific reason, right? My mother was one of 8 children, and she was born on a farm, and she harvested. So she was raised as a farm girl, right? She was raised as a farm girl. And I was her first US-born child, and I was raised to be an unpaid intern. Yes, I know. Anybody else first generation out here? Yeah. You can raise your hands or you could be vocal about it. That's fine, right? Right? Weren't we everything to them? I filled out so many forms. I've learned how to anticipate needs. I was everything to them, right? I was MapQuest, Grubhub, Seamless, Duolingo, TaskRabbit, everything. I could do it all, right? So, I mean, the one thing is that they kept putting me in situations where I had to talk to adults that I didn't know. Anybody else? Yeah, I mean, yes, there are those times where you have to call a takeout food place and put in that order. But there were also these other times where on my days off, I was awoken to go to the post office to get a stamp or to get my mail certified, right? I'm a 7-year-old and I know the difference between certified and certified receipt, and that's $3.19. And like, to be honest, like I was at my old job and one of the interns asked me what corner of the envelope the stamp went. So just to put that in perspective, I was at the grocery store at a young age with my mother, and we'd be at the checkout line. It's 10 items or less. We had 15. And Joe's Pub, I don't need a professional therapist to tell me where my task avoidance and anxiety came from, right? I know exactly. It's from this altercation, this situation. I'm there. I'm looking at this checkout line. I'm looking at the sign. I'm looking back at my mom. I'm looking at the cashier. I'm looking back at my mom. And I'm like, I think she's onto our scam. She moves a few items my way and is like, you're a person. I look at the cashier. I was just like, no. They're onto us. They're onto us. And then she's just like, relax. The cashier did not care. But all I'm saying is that I was also born for a very specific purpose, and that was to wait on lines for her. So I'm glad that you're here. Our theme of the night and the evening is origin stories. Yes. Everybody has an origin story. Everybody has a beginning. And in your beginning, that doesn't mean that's where you're stuck. That means you could do anything you want with your future, right? If you don't believe me, Beyonce's a country music star right now. That's also how my mom looked on the farm. But I want you, Joe's Pub, to give it up and put your hands together for our first performer of the evening. Can we do that? Yes. Our first performer is a film critic, and their name is Ruben Barrett.
Thank you, Seth Rogen, for allowing me to attend the Cannes Film Festival. I'll explain. When I was 15 years old, my parents thought my B- assessment of the 2008 stoner comedy The Pineapple Express was fascinating enough that I should start a movie review blog. No, I'm not thanking you, James Franco. You suck. But I will thank Roger Ebert. After writing reviews for a few months, I commented on one of Ebert's blog posts and asked him what he thought of my writing. He gave it a thumb up. Unfortunately, the comments on that particular post were forever lost when they redesigned Ebert's website, but I swear I'm not making this up. This gave me the ego boost I needed to think I could turn film criticism into a career. Not my dream career, to be clear. I will be a screenwriter, and if anyone has any leads on that, meet me after the show. I can send you writing samples. I can walk your dog. I am not in a position to do bribes, but we can discuss other arrangements. But yeah, I have not made money from screenwriting, and I have made money from film criticism. Nothing at first, but with a lot of hard work and grueling tenacity, I finally started making money. At criminally low rates. It's okay. I've since found sites that actually pay okay when they actually have work, that is. And last spring, Looper was offering just enough work that I could semi-justify my Cannes vacay. Now, Cannes is the fanciest film festival. They don't allow the public there, but that doesn't stop people from trying to get in. You'll never see more beggars in tuxedos anywhere in the world. Now, I've been to various film festivals. The Toronto International Film Festival, or TIFF for short, is my favorite. Everyone's super nice there, and before every movie, there's a Bulgariad with Zendaya and Anne Hathaway, and the music goes beep, ba 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 beep beep. If you thought movie gays were crazy about the Nicole Kidman AMC intro, that's nothing compared to the Bulgariad at TIFF. So much offbeat clapping, so hideous, so beautiful. Now, I'm not guaranteed to get into every festival I apply to. The New York Film Festival rejected me 2 years ago. They've since corrected that error, but you can understand how that put doubt into my Cannes plans. Surely the French are snootier than New Yorkers, right? True. But the French want to be snooty to you in person. So I get into the fancy schmancy pants Cannes Film Festival, but that doesn't mean they're rolling out the red carpet for me. I mean, I didn't expect them to, but a smidgen of hospitality would have been appreciated. TIFF does a press breakfast on the first day of the festival, perfect for meeting people and asking questions to the programmers. Cannes also does a press breakfast on the 9th day, when everyone's either gone home or is too movie fatigued to network. Yeah, there are a lot of things to complain about with Cannes. There's the fact I had to stay up until 1 a.m. every night for a week in hopes of maybe grabbing tickets. The security that makes the TSA look like easy mode. That glare the French give you when they realize you don't know what everything in this city is already. It's a wild west of unwritten rules out there. Nightmare mode for an autistic person who only vaguely remembers middle school French. I remember one song about chickens, and I don't have time to sing it. The movies were good. most of them. All the pastries were good. My most memorable meal was actually for free on the beach. Next day, I went back to that beach and learned I was not supposed to be let onto that beach. So the language barrier was helpful exactly one time. Thanks, Seth Rogen, for the movies and the croissants. And what did I end up writing? 3 reviews plus the ending of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny Explained. And the money I made from those 4 articles didn't even cover a third of the trip's cost. And this is where I have to get serious for a moment and acknowledge I did not know how good I had it. I would probably not even get that much work this year. Entertainment journalism is dying. Nobody wants to pay anyone. Everyone's being laid off. They want to replace us with shitty robots, and the sites that do have work only want lists of dead celebrities or nude scenes or nude dead celebrities. Yeah, I know this is supposed to be about origins, but like it's scarily feeling like an ending. But, you know, we didn't come into this business for the pay. We come to this place for magic. We come to AMC theaters to laugh, to cry, to care, because we need that, all of us. That indescribable feeling. We had, okay, I'm running out of time, but believe me when I say that somehow heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
Yes, give it up for Ruben Barron. Thank you, Ruben. Awesome. That was a great kickoff, don't you think? Up next, our next performer. This is her epic debut, and I had the joy of working with her. Let's bring up Chelsea Tabor.
My story starts with finally being independent and living in my own apartment with my boyfriend, Jake. One day, Jake and I hoped to start a family, but before that could happen, I needed to go on a very difficult, painful, and rewarding journey to finding my biological family. I'm adopted. For a time, I thought my mom was my mom and my dad was my dad. At 5 years old, I found out in a moving car, either because my parents told me, or I asked the question. My parents don't really remember what happened for them to tell me. I wanted to find my biological family solely for my medical history, so when I do start a family, there are no surprises. This journey was not about replacing the loving family that I already had. Some of the few medical history information that I had to think about passing on to my future children are diabetes, Alzheimer's. Do I know you? Do I know me? ADHD, anxiety. Deafness, autism spectrum disorder, non-alcoholic cirrhosis of my liver, oppositional defiant disorder. You can't make me. I'm not going to sit down. And for my future daughters, a disorder called PCOS. PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. PCOS also causes infertility. Most of my medical history could be solved with weight loss and maintaining a healthy weight. Some of the wonderful and surprising things that came out from finding my biological family in 2018 was that I had 3 half-siblings. Because until 2018, I was raised as an only child. I have such a great relationship with my younger brothers. In 2019, my dad, who raised me, took me on the most amazing trip to Colorado Springs for 2 days in April to meet my biological family in person. And I felt like I was in a dream. In my opinion, going to Colorado Springs was better than going to Disney World. And I love Disney World, well, because I'm a big child at heart. I was born in San Antonio, Texas on June 10th, 1993 at 4:45 p.m. and weighed 6 pounds, 7 ounces. I was born to a birth mom named Dawn Marie, and, well, man is unknown. When I was born, I had an older half-sister named Elizabeth Marie, and Dawn was 23 years old when I was born. I ended up getting adopted by the most wonderful and loving parents, Cynthia and Andrew Tabor, when I was 2 days old, and then spent about a week in Texas per the adoption laws, longest week of my parents' lives, as it was really hot. My birth mom was living in Colorado Springs, Colorado. But the adoption laws were a little different than in Texas. In the family that I was raised in, I have a large family that is very supportive and willing to help me reach the goals I set for myself. Finding my biological family helped me learn that my entire biological family was very much into the theater world, and I've been performing since preschool. Performing arts has been my escape from dealing with everyday life. And I got to be someone different. Who here tonight at Joe's Pub loves musical theater? Performing arts has helped me become a more independent person, and I feel like I can do anything. My advice to anyone who is adopted and wanting to start a family one day is to definitely find your biological family solely for medical reasons, so when you do start a family, there are no surprises that could affect your unborn baby. Knowing what I know now, I am very proud and happy to have found my biological family, especially because now I know what I have to do to make sure that I have a healthy lifestyle to eventually start a family. Thank you, everyone.
Great job, Chelsea. Some things around a bit. Bear with me. Our next performer has been on the Joe's Pub stage before. Welcoming back Nikki Gottlieb, everyone.
Like most Americans of my generation, in the days of my origins, I watched Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and continued to as an adult for the sake of history, sentimental value, and reminiscing. Has anybody here watched Mr. Rogers as a child or as an adult? Anybody? Oh, good. Other than Ethan, anybody? Oh, good. Yeah. You look young enough to watch Mr. Rogers. Unlike other things I did in my origins when I was a child and continue to do as an adult, I actually learned and benefited more from the show and host Fred Rogers as an adult than I did as a child. One thing Fred Rogers says at the end, a variation of at the end of most episodes is, "You always make each day such a special one for me. You know how? By just your being yourself. There's only one person in this whole world like you, and that's you. And people can like you exactly as you are." That always made me feel so unique and special. This is stressed further in this song. It's you I like. It's not the things you wear. It's not the way you do your hair. And later, not your toys. They're just beside you. That helped me learn that you don't have to dress or put on a show to impress someone else. Just be yourself. After the Pittsburgh Steeler and dancer Lynn Swan visits, Fred sings this song and then says this. For those who love Lynn Swan the most, it isn't the trophies that are important to them. It's Lynn himself. That changed my view of meeting celebrities. And there are three people I've applied this to upon first communicating with. Their names are Hedda Sharapan, Joanne Bird, and John. Hedda Sharapan has worked in the production company since before the show premiered in February 1968 and voiced Mrs. Frog in the early episodes. Joanne Bird Rogers is Fred's widow, and John is their younger son. In 2005, I was on a message board related to Fred and the show, and everybody on that board, including myself, wanted to know the show's PBS schedule from February 1968 up until that point. And so they gave me Hedda's email to ask about those questions. Then, in 2007, I was seeing a psychiatrist, and through connections through her, I got Joanne's phone number. Over Labor Day weekend of that year, I dialed it, and from our very first conversation, I felt we were practically family, and she was like my other grandmother. I asked her, when it came to the topic of Fred's work and the show, she said I knew more about it all than she did. Even though she and Hedda communicated regularly and saw each other regularly, I was the one who told Joanne that Hedda voiced Mrs. Frog. We talked several times a year, including most years, New Year's Day and my birthday. We talked about the idea of my coming to Pittsburgh to meet her, but sadly, that never happened. In New Year's Day 2021, Joanne told me she was going into the hospital for congestive heart failure. And on January 14th of that year, I heard that condition killed her. I miss Joanne. Then, amazingly, after Joanne's death, she introduced me to John. On January 22nd, 2021, I got a call from Joanne's number, which of course confused me. It ended up being John, who had apparently gone through Joanne's contacts to tell them of her death. Like with his mother, from my very first talk with John, I felt like we were best friends. He said that he showed me a lot of material of Fred's work, the show and otherwise. He said that if I came to Pittsburgh, he would show me the house the Rogers family lived in from July 1980 all the way until Joanne's death, and other places that Fred went to regularly in his life. And he would even show me objects related to Fred, like his old car. And once, John even put me on the phone with his son, Ian. Fred Rogers will always live on from the way he shaped so many kids' lives, and at least for me, and hopefully so many others, adults' lives too. And Joanne will always live on for her very kind heart and warm spirit. And I hope to never lose contact with John or Hedda. Here is to Fred Rogers and his great family for making me feel so unique and special.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, great. Good job, Nikki. Next to the stage. This performer wears many hats. He is a writer, artist, historian, archivist in training, an aspiring professor. His short plays, The Private War, has been featured in Epic's neuro-diverse playwriting festival last summer. Welcome to the stage, Edison A. Weinstein.
Welcome to my guest lecture. Good evening, everybody. I am soon-to-be Professor Weinstein, and I would like to start us off with some thinking questions. Who are your ancestors? Can you choose them? And who has shaped your worldview the most? Allow me to answer this for me. My worldview of botany and bravery was forever changed by one man, and his name was Nikolai Ivanovich Vavilov. Here he is. At this point, I will ask you to take notes. I give very tough quizzes. Vavilov was a botanist who made it his mission to end famine. He thought he could do so by crossbreeding domestic crops with their hardier wild ancestors. He painstakingly gathered seeds from around the world and created a gene bank for this very purpose. He lived by the maxim, "Life is short and we must hurry." He was a Russian, and rushing he was. Rushed right into our villain, pseudoscientist Trofim Lysenko. He deemed Vavilov's work incompatible with Stalin's vision of the Soviet Union and demanded that he be silenced. Vavilov stood defiantly against Lysenko, but alas, Stalin had him arrested and starved to death for daring to question his favored science. Yet, that's not the end of the story. Because Vavilov's disciples bravely defended the seed bank during the siege of Leningrad, the descendants of those seeds grow in fields across the world and put food on our plates. But what does this tale have to do with our thesis, ancestors? Allow me to do a very Jewish thing and answer one question with another. What values do our national myths and family folklores convey? The story of Vavilov reminds us of the hardship and sacrifice that can come with science and truth-seeking. I was born in a little Chinese city in eastern China. I have no knowledge of my birth family or ancestors, and I probably never will. Instead, I grew up with my Jewish adopted family and their stories. I was named after my great aunt, a teacher who bravely snuck herself and her loved ones out of Germany on the eve of World War II. But ancestors by birth or adoption are not the only ones. Which reminds me of a certain inventor, Thomas Alva Edison. He not only invented technology, but he reinvented himself. It was his story that gave me the inspiration, though I put in the perspiration, to invent the life I want to live as my authentic self. To honor him, I took his name. Now, people in my native China honor their ancestors by giving offerings. I don't have any offerings. I honor them by telling their stories. Preserving these stories is a labor of love, and my mission is to keep them alive as Vavilov did his seeds.
Keep it going for Edison. Our our next performer is making his epic debut at Joe's Pub. Give it up to Evan Gonzalez. Quick, 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 quick.
Hello, hello. Okay, so courage and determination is my mantra. It started when I was 6, and courage and determination, courage and determination, courage and determination. I use it every day. I used it when I was being bullied. I use it to fight COVID, and I use it every day in being art. And I use it in my practice every day. I am an artist. It took me a long time to think so, a long time to do so, and I'm still trying to figure it out. And back in elementary school, I'd make gluey, gloppy, messy 3D art, which I liked, and which was interesting because I didn't have gross and fine motor skills to make cute art that little kids make. But what I was good at was arithmetic. And in kindergarten, kids got stars for knowing how to count to 10. And yet this confused me since I knew how to read. I knew how to count backward from 100 by 2s and square roots and such without knowing terminology. And what I didn't know then was I have Asperger's, and I was a math guy. It worked to a point in college, but lo and behold, I had to take a break and come back to New York, and that's when I stumbled on art literally. I passed a brush painting studio right here in Houston Street here in Manhattan, and it was then, and somehow I connected to it. So I took lessons, and I felt connected to nature when I was grinding the inks and pigments to make art, and it felt good. And it was connecting to nature when I was painting bamboo and other plants and such. And whoa, surprise, surprise, clumsy, loud me with bad motor skills was producing delicate, gentle brush painting sumi inks. And I enjoyed making it, and I enjoyed people that they liked my art. So I used my courage, determination, and went back to college, got a bachelor's degree, technology in digital arts, and I continued to expand my art skills. And again, lo and behold, art has been central to my personal journey. And over the years, yes, my art has been in many shows, and it's for art for people with disabilities. And again, it requires courage and determination to express myself, as it is a big challenge to be clear and to be able to relate. But yet, when it comes to expressing things in my art, it just seems to flow. And yes, it makes me feel calm and relaxed. And so, this is me, artist Evan.
Give it up for Evan. Good job, Evan. So our next performer is making their comedic debut. And I hear if you want to see this aspiring actor and animator, you can meet them upstairs at the library after this show. Let's give a warm welcome to Nicholas Omadio.
Good evening, everyone. Glad everyone's here. Before I start my comedy routine, I just have one question for everyone. Raise your hand if you know about your origins and ancestry. Let me see them. Okay. Half. I'll take it. Well, the reason why I ask is because my family, the Amadeos, did the 23andMe Ancestry Kit. You know, they have those pie charts where they break it down into details. Amazing pie charts where they tell you if you're 1/8 Inuit, 1/4 Norwegian, or 2/3 Celtic. And I was so excited when the results came. I tore open the envelope, unfolded the chart, and there it was. Italian. That was it. There was no Vikings, no Celtic, nothing. 99.9% Italian. You know, that pie chart might as well have been a pizza pie. Even the results came back in Italian, mamma mia. But they also label your health risks. What are my health risks? Gelato brain freeze. Espresso dependency. And the hallmark of every Italian upbringing, an overprotective mother. And my mom is not your typical helicopter mom. No, not my mom. She's more of a nuclear submarine mom, always ready for battle. When the school psychologist suggested I attend a different school, well, kaboom! I stayed put, but she was transferred to another school. In another district, in another dimension. And when my 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Busta My Meatballs, recommended I be medicated, incoming, boom. Last we heard from her, she went into early retirement, and that's where she took up her basket weaving. So, lesson learned, don't mess with my mom. And here are some things never to say in front of her or any Italian mom. Prego tomato sauce tastes like your tomato sauce. My girlfriend is gluten-free and vegan. Hey, Ma, I'm moving out into an apartment. I'm eloping to Las Vegas. I'm moving to Alaska. And for Mother's Day, I'm taking you to, you guessed it, Olive Garden. Yeah, boo, Olive Garden. The best thing about being Italian, besides the food, is the Italian gestures, or the Italian sign language. And it's very easy to learn. So, this means, who are you, what do you want? Basically anything. Capisce? Capisci? This means, be careful, watch yourself. This means I don't care. And this. Okay, that's self-explanatory. And anyways, I recently came out to my Italian family about my autism. Yeah. Problem is, they don't know what that means. My aunt gave me a great big hug and told me she will support any lifestyle I choose. And then there's my cousin, whose response was, "You're not autistic. You don't look autistic. You don't have autism." Right? Yeah. I didn't know what to say to that, because of my autism. And some of you are wondering about the 0.1%. Remember, I'm 99.9%, so most of you are asking yourselves, Nick, what's the 0.1%? Let me hear you. Nick, what's the 1%? There you go. Not that complicated. So at the bottom of the chart, it listed I was 0.1% Sicilian. Yeah, if you're Italian, you would understand, so... Okay, despite my overprotective mother, yes, I'm looking at you, Mom, and my nutty relatives, I am happy to say that I am proud of who I am today. Yes, I am a proud neurodivergent, unemployed actor. My life may be loud and chaotic, but hey, that's just the Italian way. And before I go, there's one more Italian gesture. My dad taught me. Thank you, Dad. It goes something like...
Good. That was a close one, everyone. Give it up for Nick Amadio. All right. Our next performer has played a male character 6 times and can make real-life cicada noises. Ooh. We have Luisa Fernandez. Fernandez. All right. Can I give you the mic?
Can I? Not all scars are physical, but every scar has a story behind it. When I was 7 years old, my grandfather, Oppie, died on the day of Valentine's Day. That summer, I went to Woodstock Day School's Summer Adventure Day Camp. In this camp, you can do improv, yes and. You can also do sword fighting with foam swords. You can also create entire characters and play those characters that you can create in those adventure games. My favorite part was watching the Wayfinder Experience staff versus campers battle that they had. I started to go to the Wayfinder Experience in the summer of 2023 when I was 11 years old at WDS Summer Adventure Day Camp. In 2015, I broke out of my gender box because I was born with men's-sized shoes. And the question that I was pondering was, how can you tell someone that they have men's-sized shoes when they're born a female? In 2018, I finally got to go to my first overnight camp at the Holmes Retreat Presbyterian Conference Center. The WFE camp made me want to come back again and again and again every summer because the friends that I made along the way. It made me feel like I was home. It made me feel like a place where I could be myself without being judged by society guidelines and society rules. With a group of people that had my shared experience with the same shared experience. I finally got accepted as a production swing staff for this past summer at Overnight Camp Week 1. It has given me the ability to be my full true self, to express my true voice, and make bug noises without judgment.
Awesome job, Louisa! Yes, keep it going for our next performer. You saw them at the last Epic Underground where they shared way too much about their romantic life. And here they are again, sharing way too much about themselves. Give it up for Eric Carrasquero!
I wasn't supposed to go yet, but I'm gonna go now, so it's fine. Hi, how are y'all doing tonight? Awesome. Hi. I want y'all to picture a 25-year-old version of me. Same hair, never having been in a relationship, even though I was a flaming homosexual. and way bigger tits. So I was on this stage last year and I was talking about my experiences with love and the love languages, and none of y'all knew that I was about to go into a very intense surgery where I had 8 pounds of boob fat cut out of my body. I went from an H cup, which is fucking massive, to a D cup, which is still massive. And, you know, I was really scared for what I was gonna do to make money because I was being forced to take a month off of any kind of work. And, you know, capitalism exists. So I was really stressed out, but my mom, who was probably my biggest support at the time, she made it her mission to get me through my surgery. But she said something, and I'll never forget it. She said, "You're gonna be a new person after this. You're going to be so happy." That's such a grandiose statement, Mom. But anyway, so the day of the surgery comes along, and the nurse takes one look at me. She takes one look, and she says, "You're gonna be a new person after this. You're gonna be so happy." And then she glamorously lifted my tits so that the doctor could draw all over my body. But then, obviously, I got wheeled into surgery. I got knocked out. I woke up. And then I begged for a piece of buttered toast. And I looked down at my body and I cried. Not for the person I no longer was, but for this new chance as a new person. And I didn't just cry for the first day. No, I did not. I cried for like a whole week after. I actually made my mom come into my room, bring a mirror, put it in front of me, and I would just cry for an indeterminate amount of time. But it wasn't because of anything sad. It was just because I had this reflected inner feeling that was being reflected out. It was beautiful. It's wonderful. But you would think a dramatic physical change like that would fix every single thing in my life, right? No, it did not. Even though I simultaneously had this massive physical change in more ways than two, yeah. I did also have the worst year ever last year, but then I also had so much good. If you were here at the last show and you remember my story, anyone? Yeah, if you were here and you remember it, I did actually end up entering a relationship. Hi. And I am still an affectionate koala. And there were people that were at the show last year, and they're no longer in my life, and that's okay too. This is a new chance as a new Ava, a super cool, super gay 26-year-old with way smaller big tits. Thank you.
Joe's Pub, how are we doing? I'm just multitasking, so don't mind me. I'm glad. Please tip your bartenders and please also meet us after the show at the upstairs library room where you can meet all the cast members after the show. So don't hang out here. Exit and find us out. But I want to bring up a special guest comedian. They were on Vulture's comics to watch in 2021. They are on Netflix and Black Mirror. Can we give it up for Jared Goldstein?
Hi, hello everybody. Give it up for everyone that you've seen. Yes. This is very exciting for me to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Epic. They got me drunk tonight. I feel good. Clap if you're drunk. Okay, all right, cool. Sick. Nice. Okay, I have bad gaydar. I do. I have really bad gaydar. But sometimes I'm like, okay, wait, do I have bad gaydar or do I have great optimism? Who's to say? No, it's really bad. I'll spend like an entire night just hoping that I'm flirting with a gay guy, but really I'm just like learning about a straight guy's past. It's amazing. It's cool. Okay. Last summer, I went camping to prove a point. Yeah. Okay, campers. Are there any campers here tonight? Okay, a lot of you. All right. You should be in the woods. Get out of here. Go. It's where you belong. We're sick of you. Campers love to be like, here's 100 things you didn't even know you needed when you go camping. And then when you bring a suitcase, they're like, wow, look at Paris Hilton. It's like, which is it? Which one is it? All right, the other day, I was walking down the street with a friend of mine who is also gay when this guy driving by yells fag, and I would love to know how to sign fag. We'll figure it out. Ah! Okay. But babe, they're not gonna know the joke. Okay. I try to take full advantage of an ASL interpreter. I'm like, we're all here to learn. We're all learning tonight. Okay. Give it up for Jamie. Yes. And Ernie. Jamie and Ernie. Give it up for Jamie and Ernie. Yes. Okay, but me though. But do you remember me? Okay, I'm walking on the street. Me and a friend who's also gay. This guy who calls us fag. He calls me, and then my friend goes, "Oh my God, that guy just called you a fag." And I was like, I feel like he was talking to you. And that is how a straight guy got two gay guys to call each other that word that Jamie will not sign. That is so unprofessional. You had one job. Really crazy. Don't listen to Jamie. I don't know what Jamie's saying. Okay, they're going off now. This is not, no, you look here. You look here. I'm talking, okay? This is, okay. Wow. Okay. I'm just gonna do like 90 more minutes and then. This is my first time at Joe's Pub. Whatever. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yes. Okay. Did you know a few years ago someone actually got sued for calling their assistant a little homosexual boy? That's totally real. And if we can sue for that, I am getting paid. Yes. Also, I am getting sued. My bad. That's on me. I should wrap up, yeah? Yes, okay. Okay. One of my favorite shows ever. I got to perform at an LGBT center for gay seniors. Yes, give it up. Oh my God. They were so cute. They were all like in their 30s. I'm Ali Wong, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Can we give it up for Jared, please? Yes. Yes, Jared brings up a really good point. Here at Epic, we also take full advantage of our ESL interpreters. So if you could donate more money to us so that we can fully give to access in Epic and our community, that would be amazing. Those QR codes are right at your table. You could just snap and pay us. That would be amazing. Awesome. So our next performer is going to tell you about his origins, a fire passion of acting, and how it started. He's an animation voiceover actor, and he's been featured in Almost Maine and the recent production of Romeo and Juliet. Give it up for Gerard Riley.
Wow, my first time performing at Joe's Pub. Here's a little insight that some of you may not know. There are two people who are solely responsible for me being here in Epic Players. And those two individuals are my good friend Harrison Gottfried and mine and Harrison's mentor in animation voiceover acting, Paul Liberty. I have an origin story about my passion for acting that goes way back to the wonder years of my childhood. The seed that sprouted my passion for acting was my first grade field trip to Queens College's theater production of Cinderella. In order for you to understand how important that show was for me, you must first understand that during my wonder years, I was completely hypnotized by everything Disney. I blame Aladdin, which is still one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Disney movies were pure magic to me, and that production of Cinderella at Queens College fully transported me to the animated feature film that I knew and loved. The whole experience was unforgettable, but I'll never forget sinking into that red cushioned seat, jaw dropped in absolute awe of the timeless tale unfolding before me. The scenery was the exact mirror of the Walt Disney feature film. But the biggest highlight for me was when Cinderella took the stage in the iconic blue ball gown. I was only 5.5 years old at the time. Instantly, I fell head over heels in love. That night, I dreamed I was Prince Charming. And my teacher crush, Miss Gee, was Cinderella. And my teacher, Mrs. Mintz, was a fairy godmother. My imagination was at a blaze. And it was that moment my passion for acting officially ignited. 30 years later, as a member of Epic Players, I've turned some of my dreams into a reality. I've learned how to play multiple characters in a single production while performing in Epic's Almost Maine. And heck, I even got to play a prince in Epic's Romeo and Juliet. Talk about a dream come true. That first grade field trip to Queens College's theater production of Cinderella was the official start of my passion for acting. To this very day, I'm very grateful for that show, that cast, and the 3 magical educators helped made that moment possible.
Give it up for Gerard. That was great. Yes. Our next performer is going to be skating onto the stage. Let's give it up for Michael Carbonaro.
I was a 4-year-old kid on the autism spectrum at the time, where I got to experience for the first time figure skating on TV. I remember in that moment being mesmerized by the glitz, the glamour, and the beauty, the style, and the grace of the sport of figure skating. As I watched these skaters on TV expressing themselves through their sparkly costumes, their choreography, and their jumps and their spins, I turned to my mom and I said, I want to do that. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know what to say. She completely stopped in her tracks. Finally, she said, what? And then I turned to her again in the eyes and said, skating. After my mom finished crying for a few hours, she talked to a family friend at the time about a coach who taught skating to those on the autism spectrum. We get to the rink the next day, we meet the instructor, and they try to put hockey skates on me because I was a boy. So, I'm an adult and I'm embarrassed to share this with telling out tonight, but I did have a meltdown because they tried to put hockey skates on me. I mean, I was crying because I didn't want the hockey skates. I wanted the ice skates. Not the hockey skates, the ice skates. I mean, hello? Have you not met me, people? God. Anyway, they put the figure skates on me, and then boom, I took off like lightning. And the rest, as they say, was history. Thank you. Thank you. Fast forward to 5 years old with a new coach training at a new rink. I was on lesson with him and I fell down and I tried to reach out my hand to him and help myself pick myself back up. His name is Yuri. And Coach Yuri, God bless him, he would always say, nope, falling down is the first thing you learn in figure skating. And I thought to myself, a lot of my inspirations in skating have gotten that same pep talk. Who are they, you may ask? I'm glad you asked. There's from Scott Hamilton to Nathan Chen to today's megastar Ilya Malinin, the quad god, and the legendary Brian Boitano. What would Brian Boitano do if he was here right now? Yeah, I see how you people know what I mean. I thought to myself, they just gotten that same first pep talk from their first coaches. They're taught the basics of skating. You know how many times I fall? You know how many times in Olympic performances you see skaters in competition fall? Many times. I'm sure they got bumps and welts all over themselves, and they consider them trophies of all the hard work and dedication to the sport. You know how many times I've fallen down in the sport of figure skating? Too many times I have lost count. If I give you a number, we'd be here all night. Now they want to keep you here all night. But I remember one time, after an early morning practice session, I went to my doctor's appointment, and the doctor's like, what the heck happened to you? And I explained every injury and every wound was from skating. And I said it so proudly, when my chest puffed out, and I was motherfucking proud of it. Because they represented all the years of trophies of all the years of hard work, blood, sweat, and yes, tears on that ice. Skating has taught me a lot of other things too. But the main thing that skating has always taught me is no matter how many times you fall down, you get right back up, keep going, and you try again. And for all of you here at Joe's Pub, and all of you watching around the world live stream, if you do this, you will go far, and then you'll reach your destination. Thank you, and from the Skating Club of New York, this has been Michael Carbonaro.
Good job, Micah. Give it up for Micah. Up next is a national treasure, Jen Clark. Oh, we have the Jen Clark area. We got the fan club. Yay, Joe's Pub, hi!
Oh, cool. Hey guys, my name's Jen Clark, and this is my origin story. Origin story. Origin story? Origin story? Origin sorry to not tell you the story. A story, it must have an end. Wrap it up nice, be yourself, don't pretend. Where does it begin? What is the arc? Yourself here is missing, your Jen with the spark. But a light, it went out, and now I can't see. All alone in the dark, it's myself, it's just me. I know who I am, or perhaps that I did, till it got really quiet, a cough in the lid, death like a rattle that hovers and hums. I know who I am, it must be where I'm from. I come from second shift single moms and single serving sitters, family-sized Stouffer Swanson and Salisbury steak dinners. Second helping, second opinion, a first and only child. The Catholic school consists in aghast. I'm sin and I am wild. From gay is bad to where's your dad, the never-ending story. Are you a girl or are you a boy? Everyone seemed to worry. From zip your lip to take your pill, much preferred a lady mumble. Where old men on the mountain still crown coastline coins post crumble. A place where only leaves will change from brisk to dying cold, from latched keys and long walks home and not doing what you're told. So away I went across the sky to the bay, the yellow brick road, where gay was great, no glorious grand, and college was there to mold. The arts, the hearts, the heart short starts, I'd never seen these types. My eyes alight, alike in sight, these short film girls on bikes, ding ding. One degree, and a bunch of party drugs. Away back east, I queefed relief. Goodbyes with tears and hugs. But the party was just getting started in the city you know never sleeps, where everyone's perfectly hardened and they've weeded out all of the sheeps. Like a lamb, I went bah, I went ah, I went rah, I went yah like a sparkling star. The stage and the lights and the eyes taking sights, it felt rights on those nights very far. Now a full gay, found my way, I shall stay and get paid to go, ha 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 ha. It was all a delight and a nice and a spice in my life till the call in the car. Ring, 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 roar! My origin is dead, dead, dead like a thread, off with her head, like a splinter tethered sever of a memory, spiraling around, tight and rot till tear, snap! I don't know how to say that I'm sad. That 2 months post my mom's death died also my dad. No one wants to hear that you're bad. A wrap up the lesson, an outcome of glad. The silence of grief. The silence of sleep. Unsure how to say how I feel without riddle. Fickle feelings, fruit floral, flip flow like a fiddle. But I was the bat, was a brat, and just sat and the world stood by with me still. So I don't have the jokes or the ha's or the ba's or the laws or the wills for the frills. Origin, where did you go? I guess I admit that right now I don't know. Origin, I know where you are. Sound of a breeze or the flash of a star. I come from ladies in red leather, baked basking back biker boy bikes, to jean vests in a sweater, knowing eyes and know the likes. From building couch cushion castle forts around the TV screen, to broken brick courtier's countryside, boasts blue without its queen. Origin, storage bin. Oh, iGen, see? Oh, iGen, oh, hi, Jen. Origin me. And that's all I got for right now for the tea. Thanks, guys.
Woo! Yes, Jen Clark.
I'm Jen Clark.
Yeah. Woo! Our next performer is Tim, the train guy, making his Joe's Pub debut. Tim, the train guy, everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Timothy. I live in Queens with my mom, my dad, and my brother. We all get along pretty well and help each other out. We also have our own interests. There is one thing about me, though. I can talk a lot. And I could talk about trains for a very long time. One time, I got up at 4 a.m. and got my mom up and started asking her if she remembers Thomas the Tank Engine, and ask her if she remembers Percy, Edward, the Coldefell Mountain Railway? Okay, I admit it. I actually asked her that 4 times that day. And then I heard her say something like, repetitive behaviors are so autistic, or something like that. She acted like I couldn't hear what she said. And then I said, oh yeah, but when she mentions for the 50th time, she works at Shea Stadium in the 1970s selling beer and hot dogs during her college years, she was acting neurotypical. My dad can drive me crazy too. He wanted to help me write jokes for this night. And I said, Dad, you idolize Tim Allen. I think I'm good. My brother works for New York City Sanitation. When he gets home, he smells like, ugh. He likes to claim he's one of New York's strongest. Okay, bro, you're like a Planet Fitness commercial. You pick things up and you put them down. I do the same thing at my job at Home Goods and still smell good at the end of the day. One time, we were driving home from vacation. It's actually at a funeral, but we were driving home from it during a snowstorm. And my mom was nervous driving and kept mumbling about, where are the snowplows? Where are the snowplows? Where are the snowplows? And my dad was already missing his family just 4 hours after we left. I lost count. My brother was so mad because he has to go back to work when we get home. And I said, bro, if you're too angry, you pick the car up and put it down on a clear road. I, on the other hand, paid no attention. I pull out my portable DVD player, put headphones on, and watch, you guess it, train movies. Thanks, everyone.
Great job, Tim the Train Guy. Awesome. Our next performer has been on the Epic Underground stages many, many times. She is now featured in a music video called Super You the Musical. Let's bring up Lexi Spindell, everyone.
Did you ever think you didn't belong? Yeah. I did until I found my love of performing. I had my first dance form around the age of 5 years old, and I haven't left the stage since. My entire family all loved the arts. They always supported my love for shows and auditions. It's no surprise I'm an actor, singer, and dancer. The first time they saw me perform, I was extremely happy and nervous. As I walked onto the stage, I remember feeling as if I couldn't do this. I looked into the audience to see my parents' proud faces watching me perform, and I was relieved and proud of myself that I could do it. I'm usually quiet, but when I'm on stage performing, I open up. When I'm on the stage, it is an opportunity to portray many different characters. I like to step into the world of these characters. I get a chance to go somewhere else by acting like another person. My favorite role was Amanda the Vampire Witch from OMG at Magic School. I like playing someone different, but also making the role my own. When I perform, I still get nervous to this day. I use breathing techniques and fidgets before I go on stage. This helps me stay focused on the character I'm portraying. I've been able to make a lot of artist friends over the years. I like having friends that share the same passions in the arts. I'm also an art advocate. I was able to perform at the Gushers Theater with action play for Art for Autism. It was an amazing experience. I was proud to earn all my opportunities on stage to show everyone my talents. Even though you might be different, you can still do the same things as everyone else, just in your own way. Thank you.
Good job, Lexi. Okay. Remember, folks, after the show, please exit immediately. We're getting charged by the minute, so it'd be great if you could do that. But our next performer brought most of you here. Yes, he did. He is a voiceover artist and the chair of our Epic Players Committee. Let's bring up Harrison Godfrey.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I think I had a frog in my throat, or rather a duck. Let's try that again. Hello, Joe's Pub. How are we doing tonight? Who's ready for another origin story? Well, let me tell you, ever since I was little, I used to love making funny voices. I used to mimic cartoon characters from my favorite TV shows and movies. Little did I know back then this interest would become a career path. This art is known today as voiceover. For those of you who don't even know what voiceover even is, let me explain. Has every fleshling here watched cartoons? If yes, awesome. If no, stop what you are doing right now and go watch some goddamn cartoons. You heard Megatron, right? Go watch some cartoons, because hopefully that'll be me one day voicing one of those animated characters. The true spark of this interest happened back in 2017 when I attended a Comic-Con-like convention. And at this convention, there was a panel about the voiceover industry. I watched it. Afterwards, it clicked. That could be me, Stitch. I started taking classes with the Company Actors Connection and had the amazing Paula Birdie as my mentor. The reason I loved this teacher so much was that his feedback was always phrased positively. What I mean by that is his feedback wasn't, no, not like that. It was more of, that was good. Can we try that again, but deliver it as an external thought? The way he phrased his feedback made all the difference in how I applied his notes. The art of voiceover is just as fun as stage acting, but instead of using your voice and body in front of a live audience, you get to use it behind the microphone. Yay! However, because you cannot be seen, you should still use physicality, because that can be heard in your line delivery. Yay! Sometimes when you hear a character talk, you laugh, and it's probably because of how the dialogue was delivered, not the dialogue itself. I feel this is really one of the great make or break techniques to delivering a great voiceover audition. Hello. I have always loved watching cartoons, and I still do, and I probably will for the rest of my life. Just because it's a cartoon doesn't mean it cannot be enjoyed by all audiences, regardless of age, demographic, etc., etc. It also doesn't mean it's too childish. It could have a complex storyline, like Batman's origin story. If someone tells you you are too old to watch cartoons, you tell them, I can watch whatever I like, especially if I find it enjoyable. So respect that or take a hike. But like I said before, being a voiceover artist professionally would be a dream come true. But why? From all the cartoons I watched over the years, I've resonated and connected with so many of the characters and been inspired with them. It's basically the reason I found my voice to do voiceover. And I want to do that for the next generation of people interested in the art of voiceover. And, you know, who knows, maybe I'll attend a Comic-Con or two. Get the autographs now before the price skyrockets. Well, I think I'm almost out of time, so I've done so much explaining and not enough entertaining. So let me leave you with this. You've got the touch and the power to choose your own career path.
Oh boy, hot diggity dog. Thank you so much for letting me share my story. Glad I'm public domain now. Disney, just try and sue me. See you real soon.
I have mics everywhere. Carol's already on stage. Give it up to Carol. Yes.
Oh. Hello. I've been in New York City for a while now, and I met my friend Katie. She had a little girl whose name is Kayla. Katie said, "Can you babysit Kayla for a few hours?" And I did. After that, I've been babysitting Kayla for 7 years. With my long friendship with Katie, spending time with her daughter helps me remember the good times. I'm reminiscing because Kayla and Katie were a big part of my life, and I love talking about. Later on, Katie asked me to pick up Kayla from school. Who here picks up their niece or nephew? Yeah. They are so excited, right? And the look on their faces when they ask for ice cream. At least that is what Kayla would ask for. We usually go to the park with some of our friends and just had a blast. After that, we either take the bus or just walk uptown. She would be holding my hand, and she would talk about her day at school. Kayla has a very playful voice. When I do these daily activities with her, I feel like $1 million. After school, sometimes we go to go-sees with her because she loves being in commercials. I get her from school, and then we go uptown on the subway and see where we need to go. While we do that, I ask, "Do you have a script that you're using for these opportunities?" She said yes. I said, "Let's look at them and see what you remember." We go to the building and go on an elevator to the studio. When we get there, we have to sign in and wait for our turn. I love being at her side. She reminds me of family, because honestly, she is family. And it's a little different now. Kayla has grown up, and she and Katie have moved. Who's here is someone important to them that moved farther away? It's really hard, right? Those to me were the precious moments with her. I always call Kayla my little one because she warms my heart when I see her. I have so many feelings when I see her, like she's amazing, delightful, warm, and I can't wait to see her. She's family. And she's grown into a beautiful girl, and I really miss her. Thank you.
Carol. Oops, sorry. Carol. Sorry. Great job.
Thank you.
So Carol here does so much for Epic. She's one of our assistant stage managers. And this is how we can support Epic, is by donating to us so we can have all these paid opportunities. This right here, right now, this performance is a paid opportunity. So let's give it up for that. Can you give that mic over to Ralph? Yes, up next to the stage. We only have 2 more performers. I need that energy to go back up. Yes. we got Rob Lee coming to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Rob Lee. I live in New York City in the Lower East Side area. I take a lot of prescription drugs, prescribed from all these doctors. I go to a lot of doctors. And when I watch TV, I see all these commercials about pharmaceutical drugs. Have you noticed this? All these people in commercials are so happy, so good looking, and there's all this movie and songs and jingles. Take, for example, Ozempic. I love this one. Ozempic. Even people with diarrhea are happy because they take Pepto-Bismol. It goes like this. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset something, diarrhea. All you have to do is sing about it. You see, I have the opposite problem. I have horrible constipation issues. I've tried everything. Not Dulcolax, not Miralax, not Senna, not even Chipotle works. But I don't give a shit, you know? COVID taught me how to be alone. I learned things about myself and how I value my time. When I watch TV, I appeal to some of the characters and I feel comfort in that. If they were ready to jingle about myself, it would go something like, I like New York. I need New York. I know I need unique New York. Hopefully one day I can write my own TV commercials. There's no real jingle for the meds I take, clozapine. If there was one, it would go like this. Clozapine, makes me sharp as a pin. But these pharmaceutical drug commercials are too frequent, too annoying. If we were to watch a movie on live TV, the commercials are like every 20 minutes. And what makes it worse, it gets more and more often as the show goes on. It makes me frustrated. There are many TV shows I like watching. Shark Tank is one example. Do you guys like Shark Tank? Where I relate to Rob Herjavec. Not only because we share the same name, but he seems like a nice and genuine person. I also watch a TV show called Ridiculousness, where I relate to Rob Dyrdek, not only because he's the same name as me, but he makes a lot of money wearing hoodie and pants. It's ridiculous. I want to make a lot of cash. I want to have my own TV show. If I had my me show, I'll call it, you guessed it, The Rob Show. The jingle would sound like, I'm Rob, performing at Joe's Pub, making dough on my show. That is all you have to know.
Our next performer. And remember, everyone, before I get our closer out here on the stage, you need to pay and you need to go up to the library so that I can celebrate with you, or they're gonna fire me. Oh, we have two more. You're right. I skipped ahead, didn't I?
You really did.
All right, we have Playboy Moy, and we have more people. So that's on me. But he can take you the rest of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Talia. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Playboy Moy. How's everyone doing tonight? Damn, yeah. So I know what you're wondering. Playboy, how's the dating scene? Spill that tea. I need some of that spicy, thirsty content. First off, people, this isn't a Wendy's. Secondly, our parents are here. I'm not here to get scandalous. Don't worry, we're going to figure this out together tonight. Playboy Moy's gonna get philosophical. Yes. So anyone can understand, and so I'm guessing everyone here can understand, Playboy Moy, ladies. But who is the real Jason Moy? I kind of feel like I don't even know myself at times. I can remember this all the way back to my first summer lockdown in 2020. It was around the time where a small seed of doubt sank into my brain. It was tiny and minuscule that I felt aimless, and it wasn't really a big deal. It's fine, I told myself. Fast forward to October 2022, and it was absolutely clear. I don't even know what I was doing. I was felt 100% aimless, and oh my God, it sucked ass. Just like Phase 4 of the MCU. Yeah, I know, right? I'll break it down for you, but I don't really like talking about my problems. Just like I don't even like talking about Marvel's The Eternals. Yeah, it's rough. During that time, an acquaintance of mine, we'll call him Joe. Joe would pretty much give me advice that I would never ask for in the first place. He would question everything that I shared on my platform with proverbs like, it's boarded content, man, and you gotta give yourself a higher outlook than what's on social media. Classic Joe. I immediately blocked him after that. Joe would have the absolute temerity to even start a second account and start blowing him about DMs. Why'd you block me, bro? I thought we were friends. How can we be friends whenever I share something? You're so critical, it made me question who I am. This guy, I swear. The absolute cherry on top of the double fudge dog shit sundae is that all that drama really kept me behind of what I was supposed to be doing as Jason Moy, the photographer. And yeah, you know, all my cosplays were on the back burner, and overall, I don't think it was kicking my ass, really. But I just felt like I didn't get anything done, and I was dead inside. But things have been on the up and up, and I've been speaking my mind more. Not to my therapist, but with the boys. Yeah, listen, I know. Listen, I love a good therapy session, all that. Mental health is important. But I really can't help talking about psychoanalyzing my weird mom dreams with the boys. And listen, they've been having my back since, and they've always heard me out, and they give me the best advice whenever I need help. They're my brothers, and I love them. Respectfully. So I'm learning that no matter how many masks I wear, I'll never change the one underneath them all. Whether if I'm your modern-day Casanova or cosplayer, photographer, I'm the same old normal guy from the Upper West Side. And I even have no idea what I'm doing with this life or even really understand this timeline, to be honest. I sure as hell am still trying. Now, if you'll excuse me, I am really late from my appearance on the episode of The Bachelor. Get ready to see a new mask. Playboy Moy, the reality show superstar.
Woo!
Later, guys.
Yay! Almost skipped, but not forgotten. Awesome. I want to give a shout out to our booth. Yes, let's give it up for Kylie and the people backstage. Up next, and our final performer of the evening, we have Dominic from New Jersey. Yeah. Oh, you cheered for that, but no one will cheer for Queens. We have Dominic Mastronato. Go ahead, Tom.
I believe that theater not only provides a creative outlet, but also a tool for learning about the world and my relationship to it. I saw Hair as a high school sophomore in 2014 Jersey City, and that show drew me to theater as something beyond the generic creative entertainment it is often seen as. Something about seeing peers whom I had performed with earlier that year in 12 Angry Men attest to the horrors of societal ills in the 1960s and proselytize a solidary vision of a better world from New York City gave me a new perception of joy in so much of everyday life. Watching my friends at an all-boys Catholic high school, which was pretty conservative, embody radical change and hippie power made me want to join this staged community revolution of possibility that freed artists of all backgrounds and abilities to act on what they had to offer, thus radically changing the world around them as they so desired. Let me prompt you. What are your values when thinking about what the world needs? How do you visualize the fulfillment of those values? Realize it. Make it happen in small steps. If one must transform oneself in order to transform the world, here was my preliminary experience of self-transformation. My journey of falling in love with theater culminated in college with the musical Cabaret, in which I played Cliff Bradshaw, a character who views Weimar Berlin through social, cultural, and political lenses. As both Cliff and Dom, I saw the story created on stage as an outsider while also at the center of it. I happened to witness and participate in the engineering of that fictional world as casts were mandated to assist with the light load-ins and strikes of each production. And a wonderful mentor who understood where I was coming from in my neurodiversity taught me how to use theater technology and told me that by senior year, I would be doing some of those jobs without his help. He was right. The holistic sociology of these two places made me realize that I almost needed to go into theater professionally. I was a student of sociology, and theater could be my medium for analyzing cultural activity and, by proxy, the communities that help to produce that theatrical research. A passion for justice and equity, combined with a creative, curious joy, are values I found then that persist in making me love being a theater artist today.
Sorry, I was encaptured by the story and delayed myself from coming up here. But thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. We do have another show in this room after you guys leave, so please promptly meet us out in the lobby. And in the library area, we will be there. I'm so proud of our cast. We're so proud of them. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Kylie. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you, Joe's Pop. Thank you, Jamie and Ernie, for everything that you've done for this show. I will see you in the library.